Welcome to day 78. Have you ever wondered how a model like GPT-4 seems to know so much about, well, everything right out of the box? It's not magic. It's the result of a very deliberate learning phase. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on pre-training objectives, the specific games that teach a model language from scratch. By the end, you'll understand why some models are great at understanding text and others are built to create it. So here's the fundamental question we need to tackle. How does a model which starts as just a bunch of random numbers get any grasp of grammar, facts, and context? This is exactly the problem that pre-training is designed to solve. Let's build some intuition with an analogy. I want you to imagine you're given a textbook on advanced chemistry. The catch? The entire book is written in a language you've never seen before. What's your first challenge? It's not going to be understanding chemical bonds, right? It's just figuring out what the words mean. You can't possibly learn the subject until you first learn the language it's written in. A brand new language model is in that exact same spot. So the solution is pretty logical. Before we ask the model to do any specific tasks, we first enroll it in a massive language class. And that's really all pre-training is. It's this foundational learning phase where the model's only job is to figure out the patterns and structure of human language. The process itself is actually pretty straightforward. We start with a neural network architecture, like a transformer, but its internal weights are all just random numbers. It knows absolutely nothing. Then we just show it a huge amount of text. We're talking a big slice of the internet, millions of books. By processing all this data, the model slowly adjusts its own weights, building up an internal representation of how language works. But wait, how does a model learn just by reading? It needs a goal. It needs a reason to adjust its weights. And this is where the pre-training objective comes in. You can think of it as a specific, self-supervised game that we force the model to play, over and over again with all that text data. The rules of this game are what force it to learn. Now, there are a lot of different variations of these games, but two of them have really shaped almost all of the modern language models you see today. Let's break them down. First up is masked language modeling, or MLM. The game here is like a fill-in-the-blanks puzzle. We take a sentence, we randomly hide one of the words, and the model's entire job is to predict what that hidden word is. And to do that, it has to use context from both sides, the words that came before and the words that came after. The second core method is causal language modeling, or CLM. This game is even simpler. The model reads a sequence of words from left to right, and its only job is to predict the very next word in the sequence. It's purely a game of what comes next. Now, these two very simple games lead to totally different skills. MLM forces a model to be bidirectional. It has to look forwards and backwards to really understand the deep context of a sentence. The classic model built on this is BERT. On the other hand, CLM is autoregressive. It only looks backward at what it's already seen. This makes it naturally good at generating new text. And of course, the classic model here is GPT. And this is the key insight. The choice of which game to play during pre-training directly determines what the model becomes good at. Let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. Because masked language modeling is all about that deep, bidirectional context, models trained this way, like BERT, just get really, really good at understanding text. They're built for comprehension. And that's why they're perfect for things like search engines, which need to figure out the true intent of your query, or for tasks like sentiment analysis. And on the flip side, because causal language modeling is all about predicting the next word, models like GPT are fantastic at generation. They are literally built to create new text. This is the foundation for all the modern chatbots, story generators, and even the code completion that helps you out in your editor. So if you walk away with just one idea today, make it this one. That simple game a model plays during pre-training is the single biggest decision that determines its core skills, whether it ends up being a master of understanding or a master of generation. Ultimately, the pre-training objective isn't just another step in a pipeline. It's what encodes the model's foundational DNA. It sets the entire course for what that model is and what it can become.